the D, the I, the D, the D, the Y is Diddy. Hold up. All right. So apparently, NBC News, Sean Diddy Combs arrested. Now last night, the news broke and they didn't know what the charges was, and now they're saying trafficking and racketeering. So the RICO charge, man, it's one of them charges that you fear because it's just basically who said it. Conspiracy charge. Who said it? It don't matter if you did it or didn't do it. If enough people say you did it and they got enough convincing evidence to say you did it, then you going to jail. So Combs arrested amid a wave of lawsuits against him, alleging SA and misconduct. So what to know about Combs' arrest? Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was arrested yesterday at Park Hyatt Hotel, West 57th Street. A representative said in a federal indictment unsealed today, Combs was charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, transportation to engage in prostitution. An attorney for Combs said today he plans to plead not guilty and will fight this with all his energy, and they're going to deplete his pockets. Combs has faced a wave of lawsuits, one as recent as last week, accusing him of SA and misconduct in the past year. He also was denied any wrongdoing. Don't forget, when Kanye reached $1 billion, not too long after that, when Kanye reached $1 billion, not too long after that, he, said what he said, and they depleted his bank account a little bit, froze his bank account. And then with Diddy, he became a billionaire, and then this popped up. So I don't know if it's a billionaire threshold, because as soon as Kanye, they declared he wasn't a billionaire, then Diddy became, they said Diddy was a billionaire. So I don't know if it's a threshold on how many black billionaires can be up there at once, but I don't know. But yeah, when some person get the ball rolling and one person expose somebody in this Me Too movement era and the social media era, then everybody got a story. He did this, he did that to me. All it takes is one person to be brave. And I spoke about this on my Detroit channel. I did a live about the Lions and Bucks game. Check my Detroit channel out, Motor City Sports Talk. The link's in the link tree, in all separate words though. But we were talking about I already told people like, yeah, I done walked in on a chick with another dude before, and I ain't crashed. I just walked out. It was what it was. You know what I'm saying? And most guys ain't brave enough to say they've been through that. But all it takes is one person to speak up, and the dude was like, yeah, that happened to me, man. The best thing I did was walk out. And other people like, yeah, and that's the thing that I kind of like about men's spaces, not just black men's spaces, is that a lot of us go through a lot of pain and trials and tribulations silent. We don't have nobody confined where you tell your homeboys they laugh at you. You know what I'm saying? And then you tell females they don't respect you. So a lot of that stuff, a lot of guys got to hold in. So it's the same thing here. As soon as somebody say something, somebody else gonna be, oh, me too. He did that to me too. Only take is one, So, and when he was powerful as Diddy, he probably like, man, anybody gonna care what Cassie got to say? Everybody give a hell with that she got to say. I ain't gonna have to pay her. And his arrogance and how powerful he was and thinking he couldn't be touched. Remember Tommy Buns on Belly when he was running lights, like, I'm untouchable. But criminal acts date back to 2008, prosecutors say. He said and it should be statute of limitations on which you can come out and say, like, honestly, bro, unless it's like murder. But 3 counts of indictment against Combs include, you got 3 counts, alleged criminal acts going back 16 years, court documents said. The racketeering counts cover allegedly committed by defendants starting in 2008, while sex trafficking and transportation to engage in prostitution started in 2009, the court papers show. So, Combs changed his public name persona to Diddy in 2005, dropping the P in P. Diddy. Puff Daddy, remember? Puff Daddy first. So 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant seized in raid of Combs' home. Oh, man. Federal agents raided Combs' home in Miami, Los Angeles in March and came away with supplies alleging he used a sexual assault. Court documents at the time of the raid, federal officials would only say they executed a law enforcement action in New York as part of an ongoing investigation along with teams in Los Angeles, Miami. In court papers made public today, government officials revealed that they took supplies of Combs allegedly used freak-off sexual assault. Agents seized various freak off supplies, including narcotics, and seized in more, in more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Lee. It says Combs' business empire, key to crimes. Prosecutors say, he said at the height of his power, Combs was more than just a musician. He controlled a vast business empire, including record labels and alcohol clothing brands that made him billionaire. He said now the prosecutors are alleging that Combs' commercial enterprise was a key component of his criminal enterprise. The mogul used his business and several other employees to carry out and facilitate and cover up his abuse of commercial sex, according to indictments unsealed this morning. Quote, those employees include security staff, household staff, personal assistants, high-ranking supervisors, and other close associates. Acts of Combs' inner diaries and conducted and their conduct was facilitated and assisted by Combs' control of Combs' business, prosecutor said. Federal prosecutors seek to seize assets. So they're trying to freeze his assets. So the government seeking to recover significant financial assets from the famed music mogul through his prosecution and court documents reveal Combs could be on the hook for any and all property in personal and under determined sum of money involved in these alleged crimes, according to indictment. So they about to kill his bank account so he can't defend himself in court. The court documents did not specify list any assets or amount of money it would be seeking to take from Combs. Drugs fueled days-long freak-off videos used to ensure obedience, and prosecutors say sex abuse allegedly directed at Combs was fueled by drugs and often went days at a time. Prosecutors said the victims were filled with drugs to control them for long stretches of time. Authorities with participants typically having to get IV fluids to recover from the physical exertion. And once the victims were lured into the orbit, they were coerced to keep following the suspect's orders. Prosecutor said Combs used the sensitive, embarrassing, and incriminating recordings that he made during the freak-offs as collateral to ensure that he continued the obedience and silence of victims, according to court documents. So that's why those tapes were so important. Freak-offs, Combs accused of forcing and recording sex acts. Federal prosecutors accused Combs of forcing victims into sex acts that he alleged called freak-offs and acts which he recorded for viewing pleasures. Combs used force to cause victims to engage in extended sex acts with males, commercial sex workers that Combs arranged, directed, masturbate during and often electronically recorded court documents charged the defendants called these acts freak off, the prosecutor said. So Combs allegedly used his power to abuse and coerce and fulfill his sexual desires. Okay, we get that. Combs charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, prostitution, transportation. Combs' attorney arrives at courthouse. So basically, this is going backwards. Sex, Sean Diddy become arrested, timeline with the no. So we pretty much read all that. So, for the most part, man, the lubricant stuff was wild. This is all stuff that he's been alleged and people said. And it seemed like, the civil suits, came back to bite him in hindsight. So, hopefully he figured this, hopefully he figured this out. Hopefully he proved his innocence, or if he's guilty, he deserves to go down. But when you get that much money and power, you become arrogant. So, don't think you can be touched and all that stuff. But hey, I know Diddy. But hey, hit the link tree. Find me on check out the Patreon. You won't be disappointed, especially the Free Game 89 side of things. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Kick, Twitch. I want to donate. Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313. And Diddy is presumed innocent until proven guilty. All these are allegations, and we'll see what happens. Peace.